What's going on, Axie fam? Elijah here, back with another video, and today I'm going to be discussing budget teams. What does that even mean these days? I'm not sure because the market has been so bearish, but I do think it's a good time to discuss perhaps some builds that you can use this offseason and get familiar with, teams that I think will have longevity going into season 20 in my opinion. Obviously, be safe with your investing. I did make a video recently on the updates for Origin, the new release of Axie Infinity, and I explained why I think there will be a season 20 with the same gameplay mechanics that we currently have. So in this video, I hope to offer some suggestions on ways you can upgrade or just get your first team for a very reasonable price at the moment. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Well, it's funny because recently I tried to make a budget team thinking sort of in terms of how things have been a few months ago. So I went out, I bought this plant for 0.04 Ethereum. I bought this mech, which was my flashy piece of the budget team, for 0.065. And then to round it out and make it so that it was still really cheap, I got this backliner for 0.03 ETH, which comes out to a total of 0.135 for the entire team, or $416. Currently, I've been climbing the ranks with it. Today I played about 10 games with this team and went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 2 with what I consider to be a budget team. But remember, MMR got reset and I'm starting way down here. I think I was around 1500 when I started the day. But my point with all of this is that I had to go back and look at some prices of other very high MMR teams from last season. And what I'm discovering is that the whole definition of a budget team isn't quite the same. And what I realized is that with two other builds I looked at, one being the Indes build, it cost 0.17 ETH for $524. I guess you can call it the budget Indes build because it's slightly modified. And then Double Plant Bird is another choice that's going for 0.144 at $444. You can see here that it's only a difference of about $100 between my first team that I tried to create and then two other teams which are, battle tested. These are proven to be top 100 caliber teams. While I might still play around with the three Axies that I bought for 0.135 ETH and have some fun on stream with them, I might need to reconsider what a budget team will actually cost these days. So leave a comment, let me know what you think is a budget team. Is it under $300? Is it, does this count at around $400, under $450? Let me know what you think. And in the meantime, I'm going to highlight these other two builds and explain why I think they're extremely high value options for you right now. Starting with the Indes build. This plant here, I've said it 100 times, it's probably the most well-rounded plant in the game right now. Cattail Sirius Sandal Cactus gives you everything you want. High damage, a steel option up front. If you can find this with Goda, it'd be an amazing choice. Oh, I forgot to mention that this is the budget version of this build, and Beach is actually the stronger choice, mostly for the extra shield. Since we are talking budget builds, this is 252 compared to 188. If you're able to afford it, it's certainly a nice upgrade, but if you're just starting out in the game, the Cactus is viable. At the midline position, we've got the Arco Sandal Aqua. This is going for 0.05 Ethereum, $153. If you want to spend a little more money, you're going to get this with Scarab instead of Sandal, okay? But I'm talking about budget choices today. So if we're going that route, this is the cheapest selection, but still super strong, just high shield, really nicely rounded with a little bit of aqua damage, but also that beast and bug damage that we really need in the current meta to get through double plant builds, to get through all of the beefy Axies that are out there. And of course, Arco in the mid game and late game even is critical in terms of having the speed up option. If you have Axies these days that don't have the ability to speed up, it becomes very difficult to win. On the back line, Indes Bird. I've been saying this for months now that this is obviously one of the best Axies in the game. Indes gets rank 1 with it this season, and there's a reason why. Hair, extremely powerful, gives you a card every time you play it and you're attacking first, which is usually the case with the bird. The eggshell, this card requires a lot of skill. If you time it well, you can change the course of the game. You can win so many games just on this card alone. Balloon is a fantastic zero card. It also gives room for more manipulation against our opponent, and sometimes backdoor attacks in the mid game, we can stop them with Balloon. And then Peacemaker, another high damage card. I will say, Hair, it might be due for a nerf. It is very widely used. It is extremely powerful, especially when you're just always attacking first and almost keeping that hand completely replenished. replenished, I wouldn't be surprised to see it get bumped down a little bit. So keep that in mind. I don't know though, maybe not. Maybe they're not thinking about hair at all. The only difference with Indez is he had Piranha on the mouth and I believe Scarab on the back. And we can take a look here that, I mean, look at this, 0.10. This is just showing you how insanely bearish the market is right now, because that's an amazing deal. This was going, I think, for 0.25 at the end of the season. Just sheerly on the Indez effect, by which I mean the fact that he was rank 1. I thought I was going to see this priced way higher. It's actually quite affordable, but I don't think it's necessary or worth paying twice as much by any means. I played with this Aqua with Scarab last season with my double Aqua team. It's fantastic. I played this with the Hairbird and it's super strong. So don't feel like you need to go out and spend 318 bucks. Okay, moving on, we've got a double plant bird build, and I think this is another one that's a great choice. We can see here that this is the one I was referring to for 0.144 Ethereum, just under 450 bucks. We're just gonna go with the same plant up front. Like I said, it's extremely powerful. Moving on to our midline position, the most budget, super strong version right now is just gonna look like this. It's gonna be all melee cards with Cactus, Zigzag, Gravel. As you're climbing the ranks, this is gonna dominate a lot of the stuff that you see in the meta. And then when you get really high up there, it gets a little trickier. People are mixing in, like, you know, plants with Gravel that have a range card, so in the mirror matchup they can have the edge. But I still did see this even at the highest rankings towards season end, and it's definitely a strong choice. For the bird, I think this ended up being the most popular variant with the toothless eggshell hair blackmail. You can play around with this with post fight as well. It's probably even cheaper, to be honest, but I think that the card draw and extra beast damage goes a long way and is kind of necessary. I will say another choice for your midline is going to be an immortal plant, and I think this is probably even better for most people who are looking to go into double plant bird as an option. It's slightly more expensive than the Gravelant, but it's going to be so much easier for you to play, especially people who are starting out, because you have that extra energy, you have so much durability. As long as you egg them at the right time later on, this immortal plant is going to be insane in a lot of 2v1 situations. Just unlimited shield, energy, card draw, it has it all, plus hotbutt to turn off the opponent's mouth, and you get to heal up with Zigzag. So I think if I was to start from scratch and get a double plant bird build, I would do this at the mid, this guy up front, and then, you know, the Hairbird on the back. I mean, the other thing to consider about buying this bird, right, this is the Indez bird as an option, is that it's really good with so many Axies, so many builds. It's not even like you need this Aqua. Like, if you already are on track for a double plant bird, but maybe you don't have a great backline bird, then you can just buy this and put it back there, and it's still going to be super strong. I was running that at one point for a very long time. Classic plant up front with the immortal mid, and then the hair balloon bird at the back. So I will say, if there's anything to take away from this video, it's that this thing is super versatile. It works with a lot of different Axies. You can even have a mech or a beast at the midline with this bird as well. But I do think that those are two of the very best choices in terms of longevity. I think that these are going to be solid picks. Again, my main concern is hair, but I don't think that that's going to completely rule out this Axie as a possibility anyway if it does get nerfed a little bit. I expect this bird to still be strong. So if you're looking to upgrade or buy a new team, or you've been sitting on the sidelines waiting to get into Axie, I do think now could be the time. I don't expect prices to stay quite this low forever. We have a lot on the horizon. So I hope that this video served you well and gave you some ideas. Leave a comment. Let me know what a budget build looks like these days, and maybe I can try to recraft something that's a little bit more challenging even than this team that I bought the other day, and look to push up the leaderboard with something that's extra creative. Thanks so much for watching this video. Follow me on Twitter at Elijah_MT8, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.